Welcome, distinguished guests, members of the University Senior Management Committee, faculty representatives and graduates, to the Northwest University's online virtual graduation ceremony for April 2021. We are honored to be here to commemorate this special moment with you and your loved ones. We understand that no virtual ceremony can ever replace an actual ceremony on your campus, together with your fellow graduates, as well as photo sessions. And exactly for this reason, we will do our best, if circumstances allow, to ensure that graduates be invited to a later event where we will be able to physically celebrate your milestone. As you enjoy this ceremony with us, we ask you to please share the journey you have taken to reach this big milestone, including the highlights along the way. In order to ensure that you have some experience of being on campus celebrating this big achievement, a special campaign was launched on the university's social media platforms, allowing you to virtually capture a moment in front of special landmarks across our campuses. Please follow us on our social media pages to ensure that you do not miss out on this opportunity. Please enjoy the event with us and celebrate it together with our graduates who realized their dreams. Remember, it all starts here.
Waar die wilgers welig spruit, doringboom sy skadu sprei, soos ons groei in kundigheid, mag U ons lei. Sien ons hoe hier lei met die hand, laat U sien rus oor ons land. From streams united flow, Africa stands proud and tall. As we learn, we trust, we know God is in control. Bless us, O Lord, guide us with grace. May Northwest be blessed always. Bless us, O Lord, sien ons hier, Jehovah Morena, sien ons, bless us, O Lord.
Kragtens die bevoegdheid aan mij verleen, stel ik hier die vergadering saam as 'n wettige congregatie van de Noordwes-universiteit. By the power vested in me, I hereby constitute this meeting as a lawful congregation of the Northwest University. A warm word of welcome to each and every one of you to this graduation ceremony. The first word to all the graduates is one of congratulations. Firstly, thank you for choosing the Northwest University as the place for your studies. It remains wonderful to know that you have grasped the opportunities offered to you to develop your talents and that you are now well prepared to start your successful careers. We want to take this opportunity as staff and stakeholders of the Northwest University to thank you for your loyalty, your contributions, and your input during your time here on our campuses. There is a saying, every ending is a new beginning. And after today, we welcome you as alumni of our university. You are quite probably going to enter the job market, or perhaps you will go on to postgraduate studies. Either way, whatever your future is, we want to wish you the very best. It is, of course, not the best of times to have a graduation in the midst of what we know to be the lockdown, that dreaded word, the lockdown. When the lockdown started, one university student observed in her words, I got to see life happening. I saw families spending time together, like children playing games on their driveways, or fathers teaching their own kids to ride bikes. When we stop observing our surroundings, we oftentimes are provided with few new perspectives on our situations. That was the reality for this one student. What was it for you? The coronavirus pandemic has caused many university graduations to be replaced with virtual drive-in and other alternative ceremonies. We are grateful that through the online mode we can still honor you, salute you, and congratulate you for your achievements. It is easy during these times to feel buried by our circumstances. However, let me paint for you a picture of a farmer planting a seed. Did the farmer bury the seed? Well, yes, but he also planted it. Instead of feeling buried by our situation, we must realize that the pain and the heartache that has been piled upon us is not meant to bury, but to plant us in a way that will allow us to grow and prosper into who we are meant to be. As you stop and take in the circumstances around you, my question to you is, will you allow yourself to be buried or to be planted? As we move on from this place today and embark on the new big journey of life, whether that's the university again for further studies or joining the workforce or something else, life will at some point begin to feel like it's going too fast. My bike rides have taught me a new way to handle these times because they allow me to exercise and be among the beauty of nature, which are things that cause me to slow down. When life becomes too much like a race for you, it may not be riding a bike. It may be playing an instrument, being active in sport, creating art, or something else entirely. I encourage you to find that one thing that allows you to unwind and refocus when life seems too much to handle. Not just during this pandemic, but in later situations that you will face, situations of adversity. Today I thought I wanted to give a speech about something that would provide happiness to you, if only for a little while. Life, they say, is like a box of chocolates. But right now, things are rather sour. But you must have hope. Eventually, they will turn sweet. You see, the sharing of knowledge is just as important as receiving it, because without sharing, knowledge has no value. The first piece of advice I want to give to you, graduates, today, I want to share with you this message that you should always try and challenge yourself, even if you think it's a bad idea in the process. Always attempt to answer questions and solve problems. Find new ways to do the same tasks. Spend not just your money, but life. Live life responsibly. All in all, just make life spicy and interesting. Make life something that you want to reminisce about. Also, if I can give you a simple lesson, just be nice to people. Trust sows the seeds of freedom, and a little respect truly goes a long way. It could even solve a few of the world's problems. You never know when you'll need to fall back on someone. So build strong relationships, strong connections early in your careers and maintain them. The phrase, "I don't know," is one you might have often used in your student days. It is very powerful. By admitting ignorance, you are asking to learn. Inevitably, I know, and you know, that when you're learning, in that process, you will come upon a hard stop. And I hope that when you do, you will remind yourself to pause and ask for a hand of enlightenment, so that you might come back from the hard experience of knowing more than when you started. Life really seldom hands you a golden opportunity. So make one for yourself. Just as a tornado creates a path in the wake of its destruction, this class of 2021 will, too, create its own, hopefully without the whole destructive part. And in this case, it surely has been the pandemic. Lastly, the phrase, "I don't know," is probably one that you have used pretty often in your student days here. It is a very powerful phrase. By admitting ignorance, you are asking to learn. Inevitably, when you say, "I know I will come up upon a hard stop," and I hope that when you do, you'll remind yourself to pause and ask for the hand of enlightenment, so that you can come back from the hard experience of knowing more than when you started. Life really hands you a golden opportunity. So take the chance and make one. Just as the tornado creates a path in the wake of its destruction, this class of 2020 will, too, create its own, hopefully without the destructive path. And in our situation, we know that to have been the pandemic. We all deserve to celebrate and be proud of ourselves. It's upsetting that we won't have this year the traditional graduation ceremony that we always did, and sadly, we cannot control the circumstances that we face today. What we can do is choose how we respond to it as we take the next steps in life. It can be hard to imagine what life could look like as time progresses. We all know life will not be the same again. The only certainty we have is that time goes on and the future will arrive. We can use the pandemic as an excuse for why we can't move on in life, or we can use it as a motivator to find our purpose. Whether we plan to go to university again, whether we plan to join the workforce, there is no denying that society will gain something worthwhile from you. The situation we are living through shows how valuable each and every one is in society today. The world is finally realizing the importance of jobs, of servicemen and women, cashiers, teachers, politicians, and so forth. Whatever we plan on doing after this graduation, we will impact society. And so I invite every one of you to think and take your time to do your best. The door is open to a glorious future. That is our wish for each and every one of you. And I would like to remind everyone that this door has opened. You can walk through it and make a great success of your life. Thank you. By the power vested in me, I hereby confer diplomas and degrees from 19th April 2021 until 30th April 2021 on the candidates whose names appear in the program from the following faculties: Engineering,
According to the American Optometric Association, 20/20 vision is a term used to express normal vision acuity. Having 20/20 vision does not necessarily mean that you have perfect vision. 20/20 vision only indicates the sharpness or clarity of vision at a distance. Dearest class of 2020, friends, family, supporters and colleagues. At the beginning of 2020, many individuals and institutions used the metaphor of 20/20 vision to describe their expectations of the year that lied ahead. Most of them refer to 2020 as the year of perfect vision. At first glance, this turned out to be quite ironic, also in our faculty and our institution. Your final year was that year in which the world turned upside down, and normal becomes new normal. Future became new future. It became a year in which you were not even able to see one day ahead of another. Never mind perfect 20/20 vision. And now, a year later, your 20/20 vision, your vision of the future, your vision of how your graduation ceremony was supposed to be, is definitely not how you envisaged it at the beginning of 2020, how you dreamed about it. Many other things like weddings, funerals, either yours or your wedding or people near to you, turned out differently than you supposed it to be. But maybe 2020 was the year of perfect vision. The year in which we saw the fault lines of society so much more clearly and in many cases for the first time. The year in which we learned to see the world through others' eyes. The year in which we learned to celebrate different things and in different ways. The year in which our faculty's vision to change the world for the better became even more so relevant. Let me remind you how we want to change the world for the better. We do this first by educating and developing exceptional engineers who can and want to change the world. And that is you. And we do it by finding answers to current and future real-life challenges of our industries and communities. We do it for cutting-edge as well as applied research and engineering solutions. I'm extremely proud of each and every one of you for achieving your engineering degree and for finalizing it in 2020 of all years. I am excited to witness you and your career as you will be changing the world for the better and as you will be finding solutions to problems that our world so desperately needs. I salute you. Here is to the NWU Engineering class of 2020.
Kragtens die bevoegdheid aan my verleem, ontbind ek hierdie kongregasie van die Noordwes-universiteit. By the power vested in me, I dissolve this congregation of the Northwest University.